Hi guys, John from the Great Explorer here. I'm in my favourite location in the Lake District today and tomorrow. But this time I've actually brought my friends. We've deliberately all chose to bring a different style of boat than the other one because we wanted to answer the question, what's the differences between the boats and which one's the best one? So in this video, we're going to investigate just that question. Let's get on with it. This is a traditional Canadian style canoe. Is when you think of wilderness, exploration, bushcraft, this is what you think of. They are the van of the watercraft world. These can carry anything. If need be, I could probably carry a couple of months worth of supplies in this thing. Oh, wheels, a barrel, another barrel, and water. They are far more pretty than anything else. Even the blades are prettier than the kayaking world. They've got more sitting positions as well, so you can sit in this, you can kneel down in this. They're far more family friendly because of the carrying capacity. Cons, they are extremely heavy. This thing, it weighs an absolute ton. Because of its open configuration as well, if you were to somehow manage to tip this over, you'd lose everything. All your stuff has to be in flotation devices, so that you would have to go collect your stuff. I do think the pros outweigh the cons in this thing, mostly because of just how damn pretty they are. They are so pretty to look at. Now this is a Packraft. These are quite new to the market. They have only been around maybe 5-10 years. Is weirdly the strength of these is the negatives of the other watercraft. These, storage-wise, condense to nothing more than a rucksack. They are insane for storage. Whereas the other boats, you need far more space because they can't pack down. These, because it's all made of air, shrink down to almost nothing. Again though, because the main priority of this is the air, they also ridiculously light. Benefits of packrafting. They are also fairly cheap in comparison to, say, the canoe, which they are very expensive canoes. These are quite cheap. This particular one wasn't. This one was nearly £1,000. But an ordinary average run-of-the-mill packraft would be in the region of about 300 quid. You could be on the water in a couple of minutes with this. There's no trying to hug it around. And because of their portability, people have been compressing them down, putting them on their bike, and then riding to the top of a river, and then putting the bike on top of this, and then paddling down the river, which is just not available to the other boats we've got here. These are really cool. They are slow because there's nothing to them. They are quite stable because, again, just a cushion of air. But these are great. These are really good. Again, storage is brilliant. They are ridiculously lightweight, and the portability is insane. You could hike this up a mountain and paddle a ton up a mountain, which you just couldn't do with the other boats here. So yeah, these are great. Twin blade, just like a kayak. This is a touring kayak. Benefits of these. They are, out of all the boats here, this is the fastest. The length of it and the profile of it makes these things very, very quick. A lot more storage in these. There's a back compartment and a front compartment here, which is easy accessible. They are more expensive, but because of that, they are far more comfortable. You can be able to turn this one very easily because of the shape of it. These are very good boats. The drawbacks, it's still quite weighty. It is. It's not as heavy as the canoe, but these aren't light at all. Probably in the 25 to 30 kilo range. They are fairly heavy. On top of that, because of the length of the boat, storage is an issue. The owner of this boat said he bought a 12-foot shed and had to cut a hole in the back of it because it was too long for this shed, and a 12-foot shed is exceptionally large shed. So storage is an issue, but these are ridiculously fast boats. They are super fast. This is also powered by a twin blade like this one. This one is a very fancy blade, but we're not talking about blades here. So this is a twin bladed vehicle as well. Clearly everything I said before is great, but also clearly this is the best boat because this is my boat. This is a Dagger Katana 10.4. This is a class as a crossover kayak, whereas the boat we saw before, the Tourer, is designed for long stretches of water, paddling at great speed. This is designed to do both whitewater and touring. So this is great in the open water and the surf. You can surf in this, and I have done. It's got a protected deck. Normally there's a skirt over here, just like the touring kayak, so if the water can't get in. It's got bulkheads, front and rear, so then when the water gets in, it just fills up just this area stays dry. It can actually store a decent amount, not as much as the Canoe or the Tourer, but it is fairly easy to access using the hatch, but it is missing the front hatch, which the Tourer has. As you know from this channel, I did do the Great Glen Way in this boat, and I managed to do a week's worth of camping out of this craft. It is a bit more novice friendly. I am not an expert in any situation. This is my first boat. It is, and I've took to it fairly well. It is easier to steer than the other boats. You seen this, Mel? I am literally running rings around you. Negatives. Much the same as the Canoe and the touring kayak, this is quite a length. This is 10.4, hence the name. My shed, this is the limit of what my shed can take, so but you need to have a decent sized shed for this. That is a negative. The other negative is this is still heavy. This is 25 kilos. And the third one would be the price. I mean, you can pick them up second hand fairly cheaply, but brand new, like the way I bought this one, was north of £1,000. They are not cheap. They aren't as comfortable because there's one sitting position, which is fairly comfortable, but not as comfortable as, say, the Canoe, where you've got multiple positions. And compared to the Canoe and the Tourer, they can't store as much, but this can store more than the Packraft. Powered by dual bladed paddles like the Packraft and the Tourer. Mel,
Yes.
when did you realise that I had the better boat? I think that's enough there. Thank you very much.
John,
Yes.
when did you realise my boat was better than yours?
It just doesn't happen yet. That's why you bought this boat.
Very true, very true.
Sean,
Yeah.
are you happy with your new status of camp load carrier?
I am. Happy to bear the weight of the team.
So we are all joking on about which one's the better boat, but I can guarantee there's one thing that all four of us agree on, that our boats are better than those. So if you were to rank, this is a random stranger, if you were to rank these four boats, which one are you going to go with first?
The blue one.
There's two blue ones.
The larger blue.
The larger blue one. Who's second?
Probably that one.
The good blue one. Yep.
The Dagger.
Cool. And third?
Venture.
Nice.
And then Porco Pelly or something.
The Packraft.
You're right, yeah. A tug bath, yeah.
Thank you very much. Appreciate that. So apart from him getting number 1 and 2 wrong the wrong way around, he's right.
I think you were spot on. Absolutely spot on. Couldn't be
Is it a bias situation going on?
Not at all, no.
So we kind of need to address skill level, because not all boats are unfortunately created equal when it comes to skill. The Canoe, for example, can pretty much do anything these ones can if you've got the skill level for it. I've seen these floating down rivers in Canada just as well as, say, mine was. My boat is extremely beginner friendly because I'm a beginner, and I've only fell out of it twice, but that was because of my stupidity. The Packraft is nearly impossible to fall out of because it's so wide and so stable. I would say John's is quite hard to do. Yours, John, you reckon?
I've known, that's all I've known.
All right, okay.
Since I was a young lad. So I let someone use it and they fell in. So
Right.
I was a bit confused because I thought, I think that kayaking is really easy. But
Yeah.
obviously it's just experience, I think. And I'd find the Canoe hard. And I think I'd find the Packraft hard. Just to get used to.
Yeah.
Take a few years experience, I think, before I get confident, especially with a canoe.
Yeah. Obviously, Sean, you know the sea kayak, the touring kayak a bit better because you own one.
Well, yeah, so I've had my kayak for quite a while now, and I'm used to how that performs, but having to learn the strokes in the canoes is quite different. Your position within that
Yeah.
to try and get it to do what you want it to do.
Cool. So obviously, I can't really talk because although I've had a go in a canoe, I've only had a couple of days experience, 1 weekend experience, and I've owned that forever. Mel has got 5 Packrafts,
No, 3 Packraft
3 Packrafts,
and 1 kayak.
and she's recently bought a kayak almost identical to mine, except hers is in a crapper colour, and it's smaller, and she's not biting. Do you think the Packraft is easier to paddle than the kayak?
The Packraft is a lot more user friendly in the sense that it's so hard to fall out. Like literally, you can shake yourself up, and you really have to try hard to pop yourself out of it. Whereas a kayak, you could fall in a lot easier.
Fair.
But as far as paddling goes, you've got a lot more manoeuvrability and speed in a proper kayak than you've got in a Packraft.
Yeah.
So if you want leisure and simplicity and easiness and you just go slow, Packraft's spot on.
The Packraft.
If you want distance and speed and still capability, you go for kayak.
And I would argue that if you would go for speed and distance, I would go for the John's kayak, the long blue one, the Tourer.
Yeah, that's definitely the Packraft.
'Cause mine is better on rivers than John's, but any sort of distance, the bigger blue one would be better.
I use that for like day trips.
Yeah.
I think if you were going for longer trips, then the canoe would be spot on as well because
That makes sense, yeah.
you get everything in there.
Yeah. So yeah, you gotta take your choices. They've all got pros and cons, but clearly the dagger katana is the better one. All the joking aside between friends, I hope this video helps you in deciding what's the best boat for you, because the 4 people up there, we would all have a very different of opinion. However, there is one thing that we all agree on, and that's this. It's something we took from cycling. It's a very simple equation. It's this: N plus 1. The number of boats that you have plus 1. Basically, you can never have too many boats. And I can prove that. And I'll go up there and I'll show you this. Mel, how many boats have you got?
I've got 3 Packrafts and 1 kayak.
And if you had more money and more space, would you get more?
Yes.
Sean, how many boats have you got?
2, got a canoe and a sea kayak.
And if you had more space and more money, would you get more?
Absolutely.
John,
Hello.
how many boats have you got?
2.
And if you had more space and more money, would you have more?
Yes, I'd probably get a sea kayak and I think a modular set of kayaks so I can take me son.
And that's the answer. N+1. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like and subscribe down below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Cheers, guys. Goodbye.